Coming up on FYI, the aid workers trying to get supplies to the people of Gaza.
There was active shooting in the area. Our car has been hit by some bullets.
And I'm here at the 20th BAFTA Games Awards in London. And watch out, you might even see me on stage.
This is FYI, the weekly news show where we bring you stories that matter to you.
And this week, we've started the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where aid organisations are trying to get supplies to people in desperate need of help.
The Israel-Hamas war started last October when the Palestinian militant group Hamas attacked Israel, killing over 1,200 people and taking others hostage.
Israel responded with airstrikes and an invasion into Gaza. We've investigated both sides of the war. For more information on this, go to our website.
Over 33,000 people have been killed in Gaza, and the World Food Programme now estimates 1.1 million people there are experiencing extreme hunger. Many of them are children.
The people delivering the aid are often exposed to huge dangers too. You might have seen on the news that 7 charity workers were recently killed in an airstrike.
We've received this report from Tess Ingram, who works for the charity called UNICEF, and they've been trying to get aid into northern Gaza.
I'm going on a coordinated mission to the north of Gaza today. The plan is to go to 4 locations. We're going to go to the Camel Adwan Hospital, where we know that children are dying from malnutrition. The mission today has a truck full of ready-to-use therapeutic treatment and high-energy biscuits to help treat these kids and prevent malnutrition in other children. We've also got a truck of fuel that we're going to take to 2 water locations to try and help bring clean water back to the people of North Gaza. It's 9:10. We just got the green light. We've done a security briefing, PPE on, and we're about to hit the road. While we were waiting here at the holding point, there was active shooting in the area. Our car has been hit by some bullets. We've decided that we need to turn and go back to base. There's some pretty clear bullet hits here, and this is the window where I was sitting. So it was right there next to me. Thank goodness we were in an armoured vehicle. But the biggest issue today is that we didn't make it, and that there's people in the north of Gaza that are still waiting for us to get up there.
Well, Tess joins us now. Hi Tess, how are you?
Hi Maya, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So your job can obviously be quite dangerous at times, but do you ever think it's sometimes just too risky to keep going?
Sometimes it is really dangerous, but whenever I think about it being unsafe for me, I think about how unsafe it is for the children. We've been working in Gaza for decades, and we're going to keep doing that for as long as we can. Gaza is also surrounded by a fence. And so the people inside can't leave, and it's very difficult for us to get aid from the outside in through that fence.
So how do you actually get the food and the aid into Gaza?
We load up trucks with supplies and then try and bring it in, but it's a very slow and complicated process. Right now we're getting in about 200 trucks a day, and before the fighting escalated in October, we were getting in 500 trucks a day. So we need to get in far more trucks just to meet the base level.
Now, as well as deliveries by road, there's also been deliveries of aid by air and sea. Can these solve the problems?
They are helpful because all aid is needed in Gaza at the moment, but what comes from the air and comes from the sea is not as cost effective or as efficient as what can come via a truck.
So what kind of aid are you trying to get into Gaza?
So many different things. Almost everything that people rely on for their basic survival has been impacted. We're trying to bring in clothes and blankets, as well as tents for people to live in, food, medicine, water, and it's very difficult for us to get to the north of Gaza. I met with a girl called Jenna, who's 7 years old, and she hadn't had anything to eat for weeks. The only food that she could find was food that's meant for farm animals, and so it made her really sick. And she was what we call malnourished. And then other things as well, like children who might have lost their parents because of the fighting. So there's lots of problems at the moment in Gaza that we're trying to fix by bringing in more aid in those trucks.
But what you do is really inspiring. Thank you so much, Tess.
Thank you, Maya.
Now, what do you make of this next story? According to reports we've seen, One day we could be receiving the energy we need to run our homes, schools and cars from outer space.
Scientists are apparently working on a project that could see giant satellites sent into space to harness solar energy from the sun and beam it back to Earth.
That would be amazing, but is it fake news or fact? Find out later in the show.
Now, you've probably heard of the BAFTAs, the British awards celebrating the best in film and TV. But did you know there's also an award ceremony for computer games too?
That's right, they're called the BAFTA Games Awards, and Braydon was there to find out more and even present an award.
I'm here on the red carpet of the BAFTA Games Awards to meet some of the designers of the best games of the year. Let's see who we can spot.
Onward and upward.
The games that we're seeing here today will eventually become retro games, they'll become classics. Is there any new technology or anything that we can look forward to in the future of the gaming world?
I mean, technology's always going to be advancing, right? The consoles are always kind of pushing the boundaries, and I think what we'll see more than new technology is just amazing developers pushing what can be done with the existing technology.
What has been your favourite part of being involved with the game?
There was a brand new game starring Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck and Goofy, so getting to work with those 4 legendary characters, and that was out of this world and unbelievable.
The young game designers out there that are looking to forge a career in the gaming world, what are the first steps?
Feel free to ignore every piece of advice you get given. Everyone who speaks from experience is speaking from their own experience.
I think for sure let go of perfection. Like there will always be something that you think you could have done better, but what's the most important is that you just keep trying.
The gaming industry has really embraced sort of like an online community, so I mean just be engaged all the time.
But there's so much interesting indie work going out there. But just be part of that. The idea that like it has to have a $100 million budget does not.
I've had a great day chatting to all the nominees, but I best be off now or else I'm going to be late. I was presenting the award for the family category with actor Inell Tomlinson. Gone are the days when gaming was the hobby of just the teenage members of the family. Modern gaming is something that everyone can enjoy, and the BAFTA goes to...
Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
What an amazing experience. Congratulations to all the winners and nominees.
Thanks, Braydon. And if you enjoyed that, why not check out our FYI Investigates on gaming addiction at first.news/FYI. Now, Maya, how do you feel about exams?
I mean, personally, they freak me out quite a bit. What about you?
I mean, I don't mind them, but who actually likes them?
Well, lots of us are soon going to be taking exams, whether that's GCSEs, SATs, or National 4s and 5s in Scotland.
And if you're worried about them, we've got the perfect guide for you. Racing heart. Sweaty hands. Not sleeping too well. With revision bits piling up high, it's easy to get worried about exams crashing towards you. And what if you're no good at exams? Is there anything you can do about it? So what is the best way to revise? I might need some backup here. Oh! This is Ruby Granger, who shares study tips and advice on her YouTube channel. And trust me, she knows what she's talking about. Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Jiraiya.
So what are the best ways to revise?
Well, the best thing you can do is active recall. So putting the things that you are learning into practice, doing flashcards or practice questions, that's what's going to really prepare you to do well in your exam. The other thing is just planning ahead and scheduling your revision ahead of time so you don't get too stressed, you don't get too overwhelmed. Instead of doing 3 things a day, practice on doing 1 thing really, really well. And schedule your study sessions into 45-minute bursts because it will help to keep you more focused.
So if you feel really stressed while you're revising, what can you do?
Well, you can always talk to people. Talk to teachers, friends, parents, find someone trusted that you can ask, and then they can offer you the support that you need. The other thing is just making sure that you're doing things other than just revising. So make sure you're seeing friends, taking time to rest, doing your hobbies. This will just help you to keep your exams in perspective.
That seems pretty easy enough. But what if the anxiety about exams still takes over? Well, don't forget, Your teachers are there to help. They want you to do well and have loads of tips they can share. Ask them what you should be covering and get hold of past papers. Staying calm and positive all the time is a big ask, but don't feel like you have to do this all on your own. Okay, so the big day is here. What do we do to keep our cool? Ruby, how do we tackle the big run-up?
You want to make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. Get a good night's sleep the night before because that will mean your brain's more focused when you come to sitting the exam. And also have a good breakfast. Have something which is going to give your brain the energy that it needs. Something like porridge and fruit is a really good option. When you get to the exam hall, the big thing which lots of people slip up on is getting too stressed, letting yourself get too stressed. Try not to think about the exam. Agree with your friends ahead of time that you're not going to talk about it. What you could do is bring a book and read a few pages of that beforehand, which should just help to calm you down, get you all relaxed, ready to go in and sit the exam.
So we get inside, the clock starts. Do you have any advice?
So the first thing you want to do is look through the exam paper. Flick through and see where the highest mark questions are, because sometimes these will be at the back and you want to make sure you leave time for them. But also you can be thinking about your answers while you're doing the rest of the paper. So the other thing is, if you come across a question that you don't know the answer to, that's particularly challenging, don't panic. Circle it, move on, you can come back to it later. You've got the whole rest of the exam to show the examiner what you can do and how much you know.
What if I don't get the grades I was hoping for?
Well, because of the school exam system, we've all become fixated on grades, but grades aren't the end point. And grades also don't determine how intelligent somebody is or how successful they're going to be. Some of the most successful people didn't do well in school, like Richard Branson, Ed Sheeran, Bill Gates. So just because you don't get the grades in these exams doesn't mean you're not going to be successful.
Now, this next story definitely made us go OMG. A French athlete called Anouk Garnier recently attempted to set a rope climbing world record by hauling herself up to the second floor of the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
The climb was 110 meters high. That's 14 meters taller than Big Ben in London. And she did it in just 18 minutes. Incredible.
And in a few months, Paris will be home to all kinds of superhuman achievements when it hosts the 2024 Summer Olympics.
Yeah, and this week marked 100 days to go until the start of the Games. And the Olympic torch began its epic journey from ancient Olympia in Greece to Paris. Well, someone who's already been involved in the build-up to the Olympics is Team GB's mini mascot, Dora.
So, Dora, you're one of 6 mini mascots, but what does the role actually involve?
It involves going to see the athletes get their kit and maybe meeting some of the athletes and waving them off when they're going to Paris.
So how did you become a mini mascot?
To become mini mascot, 20,000 people applied and we had to go through rounds of selection, and the last round we had to make a video how we love sport and the Olympics, and the best videos got through.
That's really impressive, congratulations.
So will you get the chance to meet any of the UK athletes?
Yes, we met Mallory Franklin as silver medalist. She's a canoeist and we got to hold her silver medal.
Really? That's really fun. Now, the Team GB kit was launched this week and looks really cool. And you're actually going to be going to the event where the athletes are given their kits for the games, right?
Yes, and hopefully we're going to get some signatures for the athletes and some photos.
And who are you most looking forward to getting a picture with?
Adam PT, because I really like breaststroke.
Hey, me too. And are there any other sports you're looking forward to?
Oh yes, I quite like the athletics and the 100 metres.
Well, me and you are going to have to race because I love the 100 metres. Do you think you're going to beat me?
Yes.
Well, we'll have to see. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy being a mini mascot.
Thank you.
Now, what did you make of the story that we could one day be using solar energy captured in space? Well, it's fact.
Yep. The UK government announced they are providing over £1 million in funding to support a British company who are developing brand new space tech.
Giant satellites will be able to capture solar energy from the sun and beam it by microwave back to huge antennas on Earth.
But it's very early days. Experts think this technology won't be fully in use until the 2040s.
Are you sure that's fact? I still can't believe that's true.
I know, it's like something out of a sci-fi movie. Well, that's all we've got time for today, and we'll see you next week for more top news stories. Bye!